Hello, hello. Welcome to This Is Not Therapy. And
Good
welcome,
morning.
Katrina.
Hello. So excited to be here.
This is our very first podcast with a guest.
Yay. I'm your first guest.
You're our first guest.
Excited.
So this is Katrina Dombrowsky of Wise Women Wellness. She also happens to be my sister.
That's right.
And we've been so excited to have her here for months now. And it just all came together today. So thanks for being here.
Yay. Thanks for having me. This is my first time being in the Oculouise space, and it's gorgeous. And I'm so honored to be your first podcast guest.
And
So
we're
good.
having some delicious tea.
Oh my gosh.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Drinking here.
Cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
Cheers, my dears.
Lovely glasses.
Take a moment to smell that and sip.
Like
Magic
vanilla.
hour.
Yeah, it's Magic Hour tea, my favorite. We have it set out for clients here in our space, and it's the soulmate tea.
Oh,
Yeah, it's raspberry, black tea, and it's got some chocolate notes. It's so good.
yummy.
Well, we always like to start out our podcast with an unfiltered moment, as
Right.
you know.
Very familiar with the unfiltered moments.
Yeah. Who wants to go? Who's feeling ready?
I think
You're gonna
Katrina
put me on
should
the
go
spot?
first. Yeah.
Exciting, but
I'm so
you
excited.
guys, I have a rock in my pocket
Right now?
right now.
On purpose?
Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Like a crystal or like
It's
a.
actually just a rock.
Okay.
So it's like a worry stone. You
Right.
can touch it. It's not like sacred.
There you go. We can show our visual audience.
Mhm.
Here it is. If you can see it.
Yeah.
It's
So it's
it's
we
black,
actually
it's
found this
smooth.
rock when Dad was having his surgery a few years ago. Do you remember? It was just
Aw, I
like
kinda-
in the chair in the waiting room.
I do.
And it was like, this is definitely somebody's worry stone because
Aw.
it's rubbed so smooth.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I leave the house or like when I'm going to teach a class, like leave the house to do something different like this, or like if I'm going to teach a class or do a tarot reading, like I'm not super into crystals, but I'm starting to incorporate them more in my life. And I was like, oh, maybe I want to like just pocket a little crystal. You know, it's like sometimes I'll put like, you know, a clear quartz in there for clarity. Or if I feel like I'm going into like a difficult situation where I'm going to need to be really like open hearted, I'll bring like a purple amethyst and just pop it in my
Yeah.
pocket. But I was like, you know, I think I might just need like some grounding today because I feel like
That's
I'm just like
beautiful.
bubbling and buzzing with like all these ideas and kind of a little bit of nervous energy. I'm sure
Sure.
you're picking up on.
Nah.
But I was
We're
like,
just so
I'm
happy
just
you're
gonna
here.
literally put a rock in my pocket to ground me today.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so here I am with a rock in my pocket.
That's a great little tool. I love that. Okay.
That. Well, that
Cool.
reminds me, I got a little teaser of Kari's unfiltered
yeah.
moment. So that reminds me of what Kari carries into some spaces with her.
Okay. So I'm sure I'm not the only one whose home has been infested with box elder bugs.
Oh, yeah. This
Yeah,
clinic,
every year.
every like 2 I get rid of, like 10 more show up.
Yeah. Yeah. So the other day I had a doctor's appointment and I'm waiting in the waiting room and I have my big brown work bag and all of a sudden I see a box elder bug emerging from my bag.
No.
I brought it with.
Like a little
to my
pet.
appointment. Like just a little support animal.
You're a little familiar.
Box elder bug. And I had to like she called my name at that same time. I was
Oh,
like, I'm
no.
sorry, 1 second. I just gotta take care of this bug. She didn't know where it came from, but I did. So that was yucky. And then there's a little extra bonus material here that I just realized. I was on a video call. I was on a telehealth call probably 2 weeks ago. And my client, I was wearing a white sweater, and my client goes, Kari, you have a bug on your shoulder.
Oh, what?
I had a box elder bug on my shoulder, and she saw through the video and like saved my life. Right there.
It's a little dramatic.
Was it trying to do co-therapy?
Probably just grounding me. It was like, okay, you need a little grounding in this moment.
It's like,
Yeah,
I
what's
got you,
the
girl.
Spiritual significance of an elder bug. I want
You
to
should-
box elder beetle. Oh my
You should
gosh.
probably find out. But how yucky is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I've looked it up before and I don't remember. So sorry.
There is none. They're just
It's
tests.
just yuck. Go girl. What do you got, Camila? Can you top that?
Oh my gosh. I don't know
It's not a
if I can
competition.
top it, but let me know what you think about this. So my husband was looking through a bunch of things. I think I was at work at this time, and he was looking through a bunch of things in our garage to give away, to donate, and like just like, give away to Goodwill. And he put them all in a box, some books, some things. And he's like, hey, take a look at these things to, make sure I don't give away anything you don't want me to.
Sure.
And guess what's in there?
Your wedding dress.
Oh, God. No. It was my diary from when I was in high school, like 16, 17, 18 years old.
You found it.
Yeah.
Please tell me you kept it.
Oh, God, I kept it.
Okay.
Can you imagine if that got donated? And on every page, I signed my full name.
Your career would be over.
On TikTok.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Were there any gems of like entries? Do you remember?
Oh,
You're willing to share?
we're going to do a whole series of unfiltered moments of entries of Camila's diary because they are
That is precious.
a ride. They are a wild ride.
Okay.
So,
I'm curious. Did your husband read it?
I read some parts to him. He didn't read it ahead of time. So this is why he was going to give it away to Goodwill, because it was disguised as a book. So it was like my
nice.
journal in a book cover. And so when I was a teenager in my room at home, I had it like on a bookshelf within all the
Brilliant.
books. So it just looked like a book. No one would ever
Brilliant.
find it.
Today, we're talking all about intuitive offerings. So, something I've shared here on the podcast before, but I'll just share quickly again. Katrina, being my sister, I've had an inside, viewpoint of her abilities. Katrina has always been a super vivid dreamer, a super creative kid, making comic books from like, I don't know, age probably first grade on. Her room was always sun and moon themed, just a very intuitive, spiritual person. This has always been, always been a dream of yours. And you've always had dream journals and
talk about terrifying things you don't want people to be reading about.
right. Journals. So this has always been in her. And since we opened the business, she decided to really dive in to her gifts. And now she has things to share and help support people in their spiritual journeys.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. People have been asking me lately, like, where, when did you get interested in this kind of stuff? Or like, how did you learn the tarot? And yeah, I think you're right. It did start back in childhood, being interested in dreams. And Kari is a very intuitive person too, by the way. Kari and I once had the same dream on the same night.
Same night?
Yeah. You hear about like sometimes like twins will have that kind of connection.
Yeah.
And Kari and I used to like sleep in the same bed, like pretty much until like high school. Sometimes still in high school when I was scared.
That gotta be in your journal. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. One night we had the same exact dream.
And we're not twins, but we're 18 months apart. And in many ways, kind of have that connection. Almost.
Yeah. We finish each other's sentences.
Yeah.
We text each other at the exact same time about something, like to this day. But yeah, so just kind of going back to childhood, and I feel like I bought my first tarot deck at like a Barnes and Noble when I was like 12.
Yeah, middle school for sure.
Yes. But I remember like bringing it to birthday parties or, sleepovers and trying to dig it out and be witchy and being like, this is really hard and I don't know what any of these things mean. And I'm really tied to this guidebook. So I kind of put it away for years and years and years. And, like the tarot specifically, because it was just really kind of intimidating and like nobody else really seemed that interested in it. So I'm like, whatever. But
didn't know the right people.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't find my people yet. But then I found myself kind of right before the pandemic hit, I was like newly had a almost 1-year-old. And so I was still nursing, still pumping at work. I'm a librarian by trade, by the way, which is a big part of my identity as well. But I remember being in the closet that I was pumping in at work and feeling like I'm sick of watching shows on my phone or trying to read a book with like all my pump stuff. I'm just kind of bored. And I'm also just feeling like I'm craving some sort of spiritual connection. And I was like, I think I maybe still have those tarot cards somewhere in a bin.
Wow, the ones from when you were 12 years old.
And I did find them.
Yeah. Special ones just waiting for you.
And it was like reacquainting myself with old friends. I was like, I'm going to learn who you are while I'm back here pumping. And one of the cards that I pulled was like, what's going on with this COVID-19 coronavirus, I think we were calling it at the time. Like, what's going on with this? Let's just see what the cards have to say. And I pulled the Tower, which is very much like the epitome of what the pandemic was. But we had no idea what the pandemic was yet. And so I was like, maybe
What
this
is the Tower?
So the Tower is like, the imagery is pretty scary and dark. It's like shows a tower that's like crumbling, like lightning has hit it. There's people like falling out of the building. There's different depictions of the tower, but kind of in the traditional card, it's like people are falling out of the building and it's crumbling. And it's basically what it means is like the crumbling of institutions, the restructuring of society. And I was having like tower dreams. So like one thing that I also want to share is that tarot and astrology and dreams are all very connected because it all has to do with symbolism. What does it mean to you? I found myself, as I was learning the tarot, like dreaming about like symbolism or imagery that was like, oh, that feels very like Two of Cups or whatever. And so I still kind of like think in terms of the tarot or how it connects to astrology. But anyway, so like that kind of sold me. Pulling the tarot card was like, as I started learning that this pandemic, they're shutting down the library and sending us all home. That was real.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm sold. I need to learn all these. And then like the more I learned, I kind of got obsessed with it. And I still kind of am because it's like learning a new language, right?
Sure.
So I got very interested in it and also astrology. And then like we were shut down for the pandemic and I had like many of us had a lot more time on my hands and found myself just like gravitating towards like astrology podcasts and like reading books about the tarot. And then
a great time because that sounds just like so soothing and grounding and spirituality and peace amidst all of chaos.
I started finding like crystals in my neighborhood. Like I would go on many walks like many of us did around that time. And I was finding myself looking for signs of like, am I on the right track? And I would find feathers and yeah, I should have brought the crystals actually that I found in my neighborhood, but
should have been in your pockets too.
Yeah, I found this giant, what would it be? It's like a pink stone. Rose quartz, I think.
Yeah, I think it was
like a rough cut rose quartz, just like in my neighborhood as I was pushing my kid in my stroller around. And then 2 days later found another rose quartz in a different part of the neighborhood that was like a smaller stone that was smooth, but the same type of rock. So I'm like, this is just like the universe is telling me that like this is what you're doing right now is what you're supposed to be doing.
Your path.
Yeah.
It was kind of laid out for you.
Yes. And then I just kind of like came up with this idea for the Mama Moon reading, as I call it, which is one of our
tell us more.
Yeah, one of my intuitive offerings is as I was learning about astrology, I really got interested in the moon, which we'll be talking about in a little while. But the moon is tied to like your inner world. So your moon sign kind of represents who you are on the inside. And I learned that I was a Gemini moon. And at first I was like, that doesn't really feel like me because Gemini is very like, to me, it's like stereotypically extroverted, which I don't identify as an extrovert. I might come off as an extrovert, but very bubbly, very curious. And it's like, I don't really know if that's me, but like, then I started learning about the moon phase, and my phase is waxing crescent, which I'm wearing on my necklace right now.
Okay, when you say my phase is, do you mean when you came into the world? That's where the moon was?
Yep, that was the moon was a waxing crescent in Gemini when I was born. And so I was like, what does waxing crescent mean? Because the moon phases also have symbolism and meaning. And we'll talk about your moon phases later.
Stay tuned for part 2.
Yeah. But so waxing crescent is really like building energy. It's like, it's just starting to grow. It has to do with kind of those, to me, it's like when you get an idea that you're really excited about and you start like laying the framework for it. I'm really into writing, which also is a Gemini thing, communication. But when I have a writing project that I'm really excited about and I just kind of can't stop working on it and I feel almost obsessed with it, like we're talking about with the tarot stuff, like that's very much that building crescent moon energy. And then I was like, okay, and what sign, what phase, and what house is it in? And I'm not going to be able to remember what house mine is in right now because I've been so focused on your 2 charts lately. But that got me thinking that I'm like, this is something that other people might want to know about themselves. And it's almost like a formula to me. It's like the moon phase, the moon sign. Oh, and the day of the week that you were born is another thing that we look at with the Mama Moon readings. And I was born on a Wednesday, as were both of my children, which I think is kind of a cool connection. Wednesday, so the days of the week. I'm just like, I'm so into this.
This is so great.
This is the Gemini coming out.
Yeah.
The days of the week also are tied to planets. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a reason this podcast comes out on a Thursday. Isn't there, Katrina?
There is.
Jupiter.
Yeah.
It's because of Jupiter.
Kari was asking me, what day should we launch the podcast spiritually? And I was like, well, Thursday is tied to Jupiter, which is very much about abundance and good luck. And she's like, luck. That's the name of our.
Why do all of these episodes come back to Labubu? We're going to put $1 into like a piggy bank each time we say Labubu. It's going to go towards like Planned Parenthood.
Promise you're not sponsored by Labubu.
No,
not yet. Not yet.
Oh my God. So yes.
Why do we want to know all of this information? What would be helpful about that? How could that serve us in our day-to-day or life?
Yeah.
I think,
it's number one, it's just like really interesting to me. It's just like fun and interesting. Well, not just. It's also kind of a window into who you are as a human being and how you approach the world and your relationships and how you want to be loved and seen and like what's most important to you. Like, I think a lot of this ties into therapy, and Kari and I talk about that a lot, is some of the messages that come through with tarot or with like looking at your birth chart are very much like things that can be unpacked and kind of help you to feel like a whole person.
So to understand ourselves, understand our partners, or understand what's currently going on in the world. Just making sense of things.
Meaning making. I love that. I mean, that's what all of this is about, right? Meaning making.
Yeah. I really see these things as being tools for self-reflection. Like oftentimes folks, when they come looking for a tarot reading, it's like they want me to predict their future.
Oh yeah.
Which as we just talked about with the tarot card, it sometimes does.
Sure.
Like a pandemic.
Right. Yeah. Like a whole pandemic. And I predicted a lot of other tarot readers were pulling the tarot around, the tower around that time too. But I will not claim to have predicted the pandemic. But I like to kind of temper that or like counter that with like, my main goal is to not answer questions for you about what's going to happen in your life or what you should or should not be doing.
Oh my gosh, time out.
Yeah.
I just have to say, like, that is something people come to therapy for, wanting those answers too. And Camila and I are always talking about, you are the expert on your own lives. We will help hold the mirror up for you. We will help provide you with tools. We will help unpack this with you, but best.
Help you come to your own answers intuitively.
Yes. That's 100% what this is about. And what my kind of approach is very collaborative, is very much like, here's what I know about this card or about this astrological placement, but how is that resonating for you? And like, what is this symbolism bringing up for you? Because it's all tied back to helping people grow their own intuition and their own inner knowing. Like, yes, I am an intuitive person, and I really do believe that we all have intuitive capabilities, and that sometimes we just need to like learn how to
listen,
how to find it.
Well, just like you said, it's like learning another language. So it's starting to just play around with it and learn our own intuition and get comfortable with it, seeing those signs and trusting them and asking for them.
Totally.
Oh, Kari is just refilling our tea
as well. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So what is it that we are going to get into in part 2?
Yeah, I kind of really focused on the astrology today. So I am going to be looking at your birth charts individually, very high level. Like, I don't want to get too in the weeds because it can get really complicated. But I'm going to be talking to you both about your sun, moon, rising, and your chart ruler.
Okay.
And what does that even mean? And then I'm going to be doing what's called a synastry chart, where we lay your birth charts on top of each other and talk about how they talk to each other, how they, what different aspects and
Relational. We're all about relational.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, would you ever do that for couples? Like that?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I'm actually more interested in doing for like kids and parents. I feel, and I have done that before. Like when I was I was heavy into doing the Mama Moon readings, and someone said, will you do one for my son who was a child? And I was like, okay, ethically, like, is that okay for me to do without his consent?
No.
Like, like as a librarian, I'm very much like into, privacy.
Yep.
But I was like, okay, I think it's okay to maybe look at it in relationship with her. You know that you're a Leo moon. And so here's how that might interact with his Scorpio, But yeah, so still doing the Mama Moon readings. I just want to briefly do a little plug.
Please give us an overview of what the
how
offerings
can people
are.
find you?
Yes.
What are you offering?
Wise Women Wellness is the umbrella under which Kari does therapy and I do intuitive readings, among other things, birth-related things. That's a topic for another time, I guess. But yeah, if you go to our website and go to, I believe we have it listed as intuitive readings and then offerings. And so Mama Moon readings are one that I'm still very much doing. Those are video readings. So you provide me your birth details. I do my thing behind the scenes and create this beautiful presentation that I'll send back to you with me.
I've had one. It is absolutely so personalized and gorgeous. It's a really meaningful gift. I've gifted it to a few friends and family members.
Thanks for mentioning that. Yeah, there is a gifting option. It does make for for that person.
Holidays are coming up.
Yes.
Experience gifts,
right? Experience gifts for people who don't want any more stuff. This is like a really meaningful offering.
What a great idea.
And I dive into the moon, like I said, all those different qualities, the day of the week you were born, and I also tie it into the tarot because each. I don't know how like complicated I should get. Tarot is tied to astrology. And so like where your moon is to the degree it's in, it can be tied to a specific tarot card. And so I like to bring that tarot card out and talk about what its meaning is for you in your life. So that's one offering I do. I also do one-on-one tarot readings. So mostly that ends up being via Zoom just because of practicality and schedules aligning and whatnot. But I also do those tarot readings asynchronously. So if you don't want to be sitting in front of me while I'm reading your cards live, you can just kind of like tell me what you want to know about or what area of your life you have a question about or just want some more guidance around. And then I can send you a video reading of the cards I pulled. And then
it's so accessible. That's wonderful because those are some limits for some people. They're like, well, I can't get away from my kids or I can't find the time. So this is all very accessible. That's amazing.
That's the goal. Yeah. And then lately I've been getting into tarot parties. That's the thing I really want to share about today. I just did one a few weeks ago that was so meaningful. It can look just like this. Yeah. This is, like the one I did a couple weeks ago was like so moody and just cozy. We had the lights down. We had a little fire going. We had some cozy beverages. And it was just like 5 or 6 really close knit friends cuddling on a couch together with a blankie. And
I want this for my birthday.
Yes. Yeah. Me walking us through like a grounding meditation. And then pulling cards and just like providing some guidance around how to ask your question in a way that's empowering. We talk a lot about not shoulding all over yourself. So not like, should I take it?
When you talk about therapy.
So many connections. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, asking a question in a way that's empowering and then just pulling cards to like deepen your connection with yourself and with each
other.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody else at the party. So you provide the party. I will provide the tarot. That's kind of how I'm pitching it. Yeah.
Beautiful. And that you can access that on our website as well.
Yes.
Okay.
It's on our offerings page. Yeah.
Fantastic. I have to make a quick plug for Tarot Tuesdays. That's a really good gateway drug is what I want to say. It's all of this. Once you start Tarot Tuesday, you'll have a hard time not going
on the Instagram. Deeper. Yeah, it's free on your Wise Women Instagram.
So watch for the question box to be posted in our stories every Monday. And then you drop a question or even just like A lot of people just say, give me a vibe check for the week or a vibe check for November or whatever. And then on Tuesdays, I look at all those responses and I pull one card per question. It's free. And I'll post an anonymous response in our stories on Tuesdays. And I've been doing that for over a year now. And it's really fun.
And it's really grown. We have some very loyal Tarot Tuesday participants. It's pretty cool.
And then speaking of Tarot Tuesday, I also I do a collective reading, a reading for the collective. That just means anybody, like anybody, me. If the message resonates, then that means it was for you. So I do that on Tuesdays as well. I'll post the link in our stories and just like in a post on our Instagram. And I'm now kind of hosting that on our website blog as well. So you'll find that on our website under Tarot Tuesday, and the full reading will be in the blog. Yeah.
So if you go to Wise Women Wellness, you can't get lost. You'll find it there.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Well, anything else that everyone needs to know before we move on to part 2?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So we will see you guys in part 2. Cheers.
Happy Friday.
Thanks for hanging with us on This Is Not Therapy. If you enjoyed today's conversation, come back next time for more real talk, unfiltered moments, and maybe a little bit of laughter. Until then, take care of yourself, and don't forget, this is not